Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. What a beautiful time of the year. It is March. It is March Madness, and it's also starting to get really, really nice out. Now, I'm out here in the Northeast. So we have some pretty dark, cold winters and long, time periods where the sun is not out and it's terrible. But today, the sun is shining. There's the kids playing, and we're just hanging out outside. It's a beautiful day. I'm watching the game, and I just wanted to come on here really quickly for you guys because I'm going to share with you my strategy on how I trade with the trend of the overall market. So let me share my screen with you guys. And guys, before we get started, I'm gonna just dig into this. But before we get started, hit the thumbs up button for me. It helps the channel grow, and we like to see growth. And if you're new, subscribe. I have new videos literally every single day, and we just day trade and we make money. Anyway, that's the point. Sometimes we lose money, and it's not fun. But if you guys learn this type of strategy, I mean, other than playing momentum stocks, you're going to want to be trading with the overall market. Let me just, and it's pretty simple to, to find once it starts to happen, and then you could take your trades. Either if you want to trade the SPY, I'll show you guys how I do it. Let me just put this in, because this is what I look at on the 1 minute chart. Let me actually just lower that TV. By the way, if you guys do watch March Madness, there's been so many upsets. It's been really crazy. All right, so this was Friday's trading day. What I do is, this is the SPY. So this is the S&P 500 ETF. I look at the futures. This is how I decide whether or not to jump into trades with the high beta stocks. The high beta stocks being stocks that trend with the overall market in lockstep, basically. So this is what I have up on another screen while I'm trading. Okay. So the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes of the day is price discovery time. You're going to see ups and downs all over the place. It's letting the market basically shake out and find where it wants to go for the day. You're going to have big institutional orders during this time. It's going to make it whipsaw back and forth. The likelihood of getting stopped out by long wicks that just come in and take out your stops on the way up or on the way down. It's just, unless you're trading a momentum stock, or news like earnings or something where you want to do a dip and rip, or, you want to fade something off the open. If you're not trading that and you're just going to be trading the overall market, you have to wait the first 30 to 45 minutes to find out where we're going. All right. So this is what I have up. This is the E-mini S&P 500. You can just do ES, /ES is fine. But this is what I have up. So let me run you through the trading day. We open up at 9:30, right? We go down and make our first low 20 minutes in. We get a bounce up, and then we come back down. And now we're the first 30 minutes into the trading day, and it made the low of the day. Once you establish the pattern, that's when you could go in and start taking your trades on the long side or on the short side, depending where we are in the current range, right? So we made a lower low right here. So what I'm waiting to see is to make a higher high, which is what happened right here. This tells me right off the bat that we're going to have a market where it sells off the first 30 minutes and then starts to uptrend. Once again, once you identify a pattern, it becomes a lot easier to trade with the trend of the market. So we have a higher high, comes back down. This is where you're going to want to get in to your high beta trades, your SPY, right? You could trade SPY at this point, because once we didn't make a lower low, right, and you see this big green bar rip up, this is all the other traders are looking at the same exact thing. So you have people jumping into whatever stocks they're trading, and you get a big rip up. And we ripped up through VWAP, and then we came back down. This is normal, just the ebbs and the flows of the market. We made a higher low still, right? So at this point, you see here again, big green bars ripping up. At this point, the only thing that I would be watching is where I think it's going to go if it breaks through the VWAP, because I want to see it at least go and make a new high. And that's what we did. And then we got into our consolidation period right here, which is what happens after you get the initial, so you have the first 30 minutes and then you have the trend develop. And you can trade this trend on both sides, right? So you want to take your longs around here. This is the 9 EMA, which is a good time. Once it breaks through it, that gives you more confirmation that you're going to keep going. And then you have your consolidation. Now, what I will show you, I'll zoom in here. The first sign of trouble here, right? Later in the day, we make a higher low. What do we do here? The first lower low sets in, right? And then another lower low. It's still traded within the range, but it starts to tell you and show you, you know what? Maybe there's something that we can do here. And once it breaks down here, look at that huge rip. Now it's also going through VWAP also. So what I do is you can trade SPY. All right. So if you have on your screen the futures, you could come in here and start taking call contracts, right? In here it gets way, way more tricky because this is a consolidation period and you just never know when the bottom's going to fall out. But right around here, this is what I love. This is what I really like. Once the first higher high sets in, this is when we should be starting to dial in whatever stocks you're going to want to trade, whatever ETFs you're going to want to trade, and then you just have to get your entries right. So you're not going to want, once it makes a higher high here, your add is not going to want, you're not going to want to add here. You're going to want to add once we develop that we're not going to go any lower here. So you're going to want to get a good entry so that you have way more risk. So what I would like to do is usually add around here, and then I would set my price to take profits right around the same height here, because you just don't know if it's going to keep going. If it does keep going, that's great too. You could get in another scalp here. You can take trades with stock, whatever you want to do. You could trade this, you could trade futures. But once you find out the trend after the first 30 minutes of the day, once you have the price discovery going on, you find the trend, You always want to be trading with the trend. All you have to do is learn how to get good entries. And that's why I like to have up on a screen. This is what I like to look at. So I have this running. This is the futures. I just said the S&P, it follows. I'll have this always running on another screen so I know where I could get good entries on stocks. And, you know, high beta stocks like Apple will basically follow that. I mean, this is just really, really choppy because Friday was also a crazy day in the market overall. You had a lot of, it was a quadruple witching day, which does not happen often. So that's why you see this ups and downs. This was a very tough one to trade. So basically that is it. Trade with the trend. After the market shakes out, the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, after that price discovery is over, you find the trend, you trade with the trend, and it is literally as simple as that. Do not complicate it any more than that. It won't always go perfect, obviously. And if you are trading earnings plays or news catalysts, you can take those off the open. Just be careful. You're going to want to get in and out. These are going to be quick scalps off the open with news plays. So I hope that you guys found this video useful. If you did, hit the thumbs up for me. It really, really helps out. And I will see you guys back on the next video. Everyone take care.